If you're starting to ask questions about a dead guy, I think having a lawyer here might be a good idea.
Do you want us to keep chatting, or do you want to talk to a lawyer? I need to know that.
Well, if you want to tell me what I'm doing here and what reason, I may try to help you out with that. But if you're going to keep me in the dark, well, then I got nothing else to say.
What you just witnessed is one of the most extraordinary police interrogations ever captured on camera. A man who has built his entire life around a code of silence. The president of one of the most feared outlaw motorcycle clubs in the American Northwest, sitting in a cold interrogation room, slowly watching his wall begin to crack. But how did we get here? What exactly happened in the hours and months that led up to this moment? And who is the dead man that just made the president of the Gypsy Jokers ask for a lawyer? This is the full story of Mark Denklau, the Gypsy Jokers Portland chapter, and a murder that shook the Pacific Northwest underground to its core. Stay with us, because this is not a story that lets you look away.
Just sit over there, that's fine. Yeah. Do you need a water or anything?
Not really.
Okay. Just let me know if you do.
Okay. What am I doing
We're
here?
going to talk to you over here.
Oh, okay.
We don't know what's going on.
All right.
You guys coming to this house just to bring you down here.
Okay.
Mark?
Yep.
My name's Scott Curtis with the Clark County Sheriff's Office.
All right. What's your name?
Kevin. Harper,
Kevin?
also with Clark County.
What's going on, fellas?
Well, obviously we're not from Portland. A couple things we need to do before we chat, and then we'll explain everything. Just so you know, everything here is recorded, right?
Okay.
Police station, it's always recorded. You understand
Sure.
that? Okay. And because you are in a police station, I got to advise you of your rights.
Okay.
I'm guessing you may have seen something like this before in your past.
I've heard 'em.
Before you were asked any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before we ask you any questions and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the court will appoint one before any questioning. Okay? All right, if I can have you sign right there, please. I almost think you're supposed to print one, but I'm not sure. It's not a form I'm familiar with. This one.
I thought they just I've never had anybody have me fill them out before. They just read them to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to also. It's okay if I call you Mark?
Sure.
All right.
You're Jeff's American Classics, is that where you work?
No, that's where I hang out. I don't really work there. I hang out there.
Where do you work at?
I don't have a job. I work on bikes. I do bikes for anybody who's willing to pay me. I've been done for years.
Very good.
Hard as a mechanic.
Where's the last place you worked at?
Van Nuys, Harley Davidson.
Is that in Portland?
No, it's in Van Nuys, California.
Okay, nice California.
You're with a motorcycle club. You have some affiliation with one, is that right?
I don't have any answers for questions like that.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm asking is that a few months back, a gentleman named Jeff Sudan, you know him? He threw your name out in conjunction with kind of a repossession of a car, or a collection of a car. Does that sound familiar to you?
No. Jeff Sudan almost might. I'm not sure about that. It seems like Sudan rings a bell somewhere, but no collections of a car. No, I don't know what you're talking
But where do you live, sir?
about. Down by Salem.
Okay. What's your address?
It's on my driver's license. It's
I don't have your driver's
one
license.
foot.
Okay. And you're living with a gal down there, is that right?
No, I kicked her out.
Oh,
She
good.
comes and stays. She stays, but she can only stay for 3 days at a time. She's kind of a transient.
Huh, okay.
I took her off the lease, and the people that I rent the house from said she can only stay for 3 days at a time. So
Okay.
if somebody looks in the house, they'll see all her stuff in the bags and stuff all piled there on the floor.
When did you kick her out?
Which time? I've kicked her out a lot of times.
Numerous times?
Yeah, she just calls me, and she's with no place to go and stuff, and get tugs on the heartstrings, and I pick her up and let her stay for a little while again. It's a love-hate thing.
Okay.
So how long did she stay there before the in and out started?
She was there from the time I moved in until, well, I mean, not steady. She's never been steady there. She's always gets kicked out or moves out and goes and stays with somebody else for a while. She just kind of transients around.
And what's her name?
Nicole.
Nicole, what's your last name?
Her married name is,
Okay. How old is Nicole?
she's 36.
Does she have any other last name she goes by?
I don't think so.
Okay. She's 36.
I can't remember what her maiden one was. Yeah, I think she's 36,
Okay.
35 or 36.
And when she's not with you, where does she stay at?
Other guys, sometimes her moms.
Where does her mom live?
Staten.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where Staten is.
Out by Almsville. Out by.
Give me a bigger city.
No, there isn't really anything out there. Detroit Lake.
Oh, okay.
Out by
I know
Detroit Lake.
what that is. All right.
Notice what's happening here. The detectives haven't told Mark anything yet. They haven't mentioned a murder. They haven't mentioned a body. They're building a portrait, layer by layer, of Mark's world. His house, his girlfriend, his habits. This technique is called a cognitive interview approach. You map the subject's environment before you drop the bomb. Because once you know everything about someone's daily life, every lie they tell becomes visible against that background. Mark thinks he's staying vague, but every detail he gives about Nicole, the 3-day rule, the lease, the robberies, is a thread that detectives will pull on later. And the more he talks about her, the harder it becomes to pretend he doesn't know what happened.
Is Nicole the problem here? I mean, I know that she's had the cops over a few times,
Okay.
and she's had problems with the hospital and her.
Tell me about the hospital.
Well, if you don't know about it, then that's not what you're talking to me about. You'd already. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is that what this is about?
No.
Is it about the other night?
It does involve Nicole. So
Okay.
I don't know what the hospital thing is, so if that's not part of Nicole's issues, then
Okay.
so Nicole had let me back up a little bit. How long have you been in a relationship?
I'm not going to answer any more questions about Nicole.
Okay.
I don't have any more answers for you until I find out what you're talking about.
Okay, well,
you guys brought me in. I didn't bring you in. I want to hear what you got to talk about.
Well, I'm trying to get to that, but part of that's going to involve how long you've known Nicole.
Well, if you don't want to tell me what the heck I'm doing here, say so. Because I'm not going to sit here and give you a bunch of my background so you can play whatever kind of game you're playing. This is kind of stupid, man. I just got picked up and treated pretty roughly. You can still see the marks on my hands. This one was completely asleep all the way here and thrown in a complete silent room there. I want to know what the heck's going on, man.
Okay. Did you know Nicole back in October?
October of this year?
Last year. 2015.
Well, yeah.
Okay. You guys were living together off and on.
I told you I'm not going to answer any more questions about Nicole until I find out what this is about. Is this a domestic thing? And if so, what am I doing in Portland?
Well, it's kind of a domestic thing. Nicole took off in a car that she may have had purchased with assets that belonged to you, or something like that. And then Jeff Sudan and a couple other guys kind of returned that car to you. Does that make sense to you? Is that
Or attempted to?
or attempted to?
Hell no.
Okay.
You guys are
So why would they throw?
Well,
it
I'm
in
not
the
going to
car?
answer your questions,
Okay.
but without a lawyer anyway. But just because I don't like the reaction. But you guys are way off, man.
Okay.
You guys don't know. I don't know who's telling these stories, and I'm not sure who Jeff Sudan is. But I can tell you right now, nobody's ever returned a car to me from anybody ever in my life.
So if we got the story wrong, can you help us out with that?
Well, I'm not going to straighten your story out. No, I'm not. Not until I find out why I'm sitting here.
I think it was an Acura. Does that sound
Okay. Well, what about it?
Okay. She took off in an Acura.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
You're wrong. I'm not gonna tell you the story because it's a personal story, and there's no crime that I'm not gonna press charges about anything.
Okay.
And I would be the only. In the story that you're talking about, there's only one person in the world that could press any charges about it, and that'd be me.
Okay.
And I'm not pressing any charges on her.
All right.
And nobody returned any car, and she never took any car from anywhere. So you got the story completely wrong first.
Okay.
So before you come talk to me about those kind of stories, you should get them right.
Okay.
Get them straight, man.
How would I get them right without chatting with you?
Well, because I'm not here to give you information. That's not what I'm about. I'm not a cop. I'm not going to sit here and feed you information. I don't know. I'm here for some reason. I don't know what your deal is, but you haven't explained that to me yet. Until then, I got no more answers for you about Nicole or cars or anything else.
Would you maybe recognize a picture of him?
Well, you know what? Anybody that you're going to show me, you'd have a lot better chance showing me a picture than giving me, because I do not know people's names.
Okay. Does that look familiar to you, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What do you know that guy by?
I'm not going to answer your questions. I told you. I'll listen to what you have to say, and I'll pick what I want to answer, but I'm not going to tell you information about people I know. I'm not a cop.
Okay. Well, that's a picture of Jeff Sudan.
Oh, okay. I did not know that was that guy's name.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I'm starting to put it together.
Okay.
Okay. Now I kind of know.
Would you tell me how you know that man? Or who
No,
you know him
I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to give you that information. But I kind of know what we're talking about here. But I thought that those charges were dropped on him and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, he was with another gentleman too, right?
When this thing happened, that's what I heard. I wasn't there.
No, I know you weren't there.
Oh, okay.
But you know some of the background.
Well, I might know some of the background, but like I said, I'm not here to try to answer your questions. You're going to have to get the answers. Why can't you? All these answers you should be able to get from that guy.
Some of them
I don't know him very well, by the way. But I don't know him very well, but I know exactly who he is. And but I don't have the answers for you as far as that stuff goes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, a few months before this car thing happened, Nicole was at your house, and somebody busted in the house and roughed her up a little bit, tied her up. You remember that?
I can't really answer to that. You're going to have to get that story from her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to answer to that but I can tell you once again, and you're going to find out that you are completely wrong.
Okay.
So that didn't happen?
What's that? I'm not going to go there. I'm going to let
you're saying we're wrong.
You got the story all wrong.
Okay.
You got the story all wrong.
Okay.
And if you ask around about Nicole, you're probably going to find that you got a whole bunch of stories wrong, man.
Okay.
But I'm not going to sit here and slam on Nicole, and I'm not going to sit here and tell stories about her or anybody else.
Would you tell me what we got wrong about that
never happened. That's not what happened. I'll tell you that. I'll say that is not what happened.
Okay.
Nobody actually came to the house.
Okay.
All right.
What did happen then?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm not going to let her tell you. I'm not Mr. Rat who's going to sit here and tell Nicole's life story to anybody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If she wants to tell you that what happened, she will. And anything about what you took the car and the whole thing you're talking about, ask her. Ask her. It's not my story. It's hers.
Okay. Who did you tell about what did happen then?
Oh God, tons of people, man.
Okay. You give me some examples.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to sit here and name names for you, man. Mm-hmm. If you think I am, you're just barking up the wrong tree.
Okay.
You really are. But I'll tell you what I don't really understand why this stuff that you're talking about with this dude and the car stuff, why would that get handcuffs put on me?
Well,
why would those handcuffs go on me? What did I do that was illegal in any of that stuff? What did I even have to do with it? I wasn't even there for any of it. None of it. Okay. Not anything that you've talked about so far. I was a long way away from it. Okay. So why would I get handcuffs put around my fucking wrist for it?
Well, where were you when that happened?
What, man, I know where you're talking about. I wasn't there involved in anything that happened if there was a story made up about this theft thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. If that's the story that you're talking about, and the car thing about the whole fucking car deal, mm-hmm. I wasn't there. I wasn't involved in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And
I'm not going to tell you the story about it. You can get that from other people.
He just said the word death. Mark said it himself. If there was a story made up about this death thing, nobody told him this interrogation was about a death. The detectives had not mentioned a murder, not once. And yet, there it was, out of his own mouth, proof that Mark Denklau already knew what this interrogation was really about. That single word, death, is the kind of slip that prosecutors highlight in bold in their courtroom summaries. He tried to walk it back immediately, wrapping it in if there was a story made up. But it was already in the room, already recorded, already on the tape that both detectives were very aware was running.
So back in the middle of June, do you recall getting called by a FedEx guy from your house?
Yes, I know about the FedEx guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Tell me about that.
Man, I shouldn't even fucking. I'm not trying to. I'm not going to try to do anything that's going to get Nicole in any kind of trouble, man. Because I'm not here to try to get her in trouble. All right. Mm-hmm. If that's what this is all about, and I don't really understand. But I'll tell you one thing. You know what? If you want to hear this story from me, you get Nicole here too. Both of us in the same room.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
Well, that's the only way.
That's not going to happen.
Because I'm not going to tell behind her back what this. I'd love to tell you the truth, but I don't want to do it behind her back. It's against my personal rules. I'm not going to sit here and talk to cops about anybody behind their back. But I would like to have her here so me and her could. So we can.
I'm a little bit confused too.
Look, Nicole, tell them this and tell them that. I would do that in front of her to try to get this straightened out.
When Nicole says that she's basically there's a robbery at your house and there's an incident, the FedEx guy calls you, lets you know this story, why would she be in trouble? Why you're saying you don't want to get her in trouble? Why would she be in trouble for that? That's what I'm missing.
Because okay, all right, man. I wish Nicole was here. I feel like a piece of shit for even talking shit behind her back. Nicole set the whole fucking thing up. That was her and her friend. They fucking zip tied her. They knew the fucking guy was coming. That was a setup. She robbed me. She even brought the stuff that was robbed. She brought a bunch of it back. Man, that's her and her friends. If you want to know the fucking truth, I've been robbed by the girl so many fucking times you couldn't even count it.
Really?
And that whole robbery right there, that stuff, everything she stole from me then that she brought back everything she couldn't sell on OfferUp, her and her fucking junkie friends. And that's what fucking happened there, man. It was a total lie. I know it was for a fact. She, like I said, her mom knows. She told her mom what all fucking kind of stuff was stolen in this big robbery, and then her mom comes over when I was throwing her out, and her mom starts looking at all the stuff and goes, "Oh shit, here's something, this was stolen, all stuff that half the stuff she told her, anything her and her friends couldn't sell on the fucking OfferUp, she brought back after she wanted to be back with me and stuff."
What items did she take or try?
I'm not going to sit here and lay out a big old thing for you. Ask her if you can get the truth out of her. Ask her. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to be your storyteller.
Is Bagger Bob part of that? Part of her junkie friends?
Bagger Bob?
Yeah. That ring a bell?
Fuck, you're talking? Yeah, I know who that is. Okay. He's fucking the guy that got killed about a fucking year and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he one of the ones who set this up with Nicole?
Man, you're going to have to, if you're trying to like tie that into this or something like that, you're going to have to talk to Nicole about that.
Okay. Well, I was asking you because you said it was her junkie friends, and I assumed that meant you knew who junkie friends were.
No, not the kind of junkie that I heard he was. She's not that kind of a junkie.
Okay. Can you help? What kind of junkie is he?
I don't know. I'm sure you probably know better than I do.
So when you say her junkie friends...
Yeah, I'm not talking about any of our ex-fucking club brothers or anything like that. No.
Okay. All right.
I'm talking about her friends, not my friends.
Got it. Okay. So was Bagger Bob one of your friends, not hers?
Well, like I said, actually, if now that fucking you're starting to bring his name into it, and he got killed, now I don't think I have any other questions to answer for you. Now I think having a lawyer here might be a good idea.
Okay. Sorry.
I think that'd be a good idea if you're starting to ask questions about a dead guy.
Okay. Well, let me clarify something with you.
Okay.
Do you want us to keep chatting, or do you want to talk to a lawyer? I need to know that.
Well,
we can keep chatting, if
you want to tell me what I'm doing here and what reason, I may try to help you out with that. But if you're going to keep me in the dark, well, then I got nothing else to say either.
Okay. So I still need to clarify with you that one point, because you mentioned a lawyer, and I need to know if you want a lawyer now or if we can keep chatting. This is what I need to know.
You can keep chatting. I'll keep listening a little longer before I call in a lawyer. Yeah.
Okay. When the FedEx guy called you, you came down to the house with a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to your house by yourself? Or?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. What did the FedEx guy tell you?
He said, "Fucking, I'm not going to get into the story. I'm not going to get into the story. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk about it. That's Nicole. Nicole's going to have to tell you that story if you want to hear something from her. If you got her all involved in this."
Well, Mark, let me say this. We have you're saying their stories, so whether they're true or not, that's what we're trying to find out. Okay.
Right.
That's our job.
Okay.
To realize that, right?
Sure.
And as cops, so if there's incidents happen, we got to figure out what's true and what's not.
Okay.
And we do that by talking with people.
Okay.
Obviously, that happened a while ago, so we've been working on this for a while, months.
Okay.
That story starts a much larger story that we have. Right, starts with at your house with a theft happening that includes Nicole being there, okay? And there's a FedEx guy calls you, right?
Right.
So this is where everything.
That's why I wish she was here,
right?
So she could straighten some of this.
This is the moment everything pivots. The detectives have just revealed that they have been building this case for over 6 months. Multiple witnesses, grand jury testimony, months of surveillance and interviews. Mark has spent the last 40 minutes believing he is the smartest person in this room, that he can manage this conversation, that his code of silence is holding. And now, in 2 calm sentences, the detectives have shown him the real size of what he's sitting inside. This isn't a fishing expedition. This is the closing of a net that has been slowly, quietly tightening for half a year. And Mark Denklau is only just now beginning to feel it.
So over the last several months, well over half a year, we have talked to a lot of people.
Okay.
Okay. And we can tell you right now, Nicole's in front of a grand jury.
Okay.
Okay. There is, you say talk to her, we have. There's a story there.
Oh, okay, I didn't know
Okay.
that.
So,
Okay.
so I'm just letting you know that. So we have a story, so we want to get your side of it.
Ah, gotcha, okay.
So we know what's true and what's not true.
All right.
So are we going to tell you everything that we know? Of course not.
Okay.
I don't think you would expect that.
All right. Well, what I do expect is for you to tell me where I fit in. What is my crime in these stories that you're talking about? What's my crime? Why the fuck did I get handcuffs put on me? I mean, I can hear you guys wanting to talk about this and that, wanting to get stories straight, but why am I getting treated like this? Why didn't you call me up and ask me to come in and talk? Why did you come and have me?
Would you have come and chatted with us?
I would have came in, I definitely would have came in, but I probably wouldn't have talked to you.
Okay.
And I'm not really talking to you now. I really don't have any answers for your stories. I'm not going to straighten your stories out for you and stuff, especially unless I find out what the hell my part of it is. I'm interested in my own self, you know what I mean? And what do you mean Nicole's in front of a grand jury? What are you talking about? Like right now, she's sitting in front of a grand jury?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
So,
Shortly is my dog safe?
No, your dog is safe.
Okay, good. Excellent. That's very important to me.
Okay. So she is indicated that certain things took place after this robbery, theft, whatever it was, the one where the FedEx guy came to the house, and I think he wanted to call the police, and she said, no, please call Mark, and I think is that right?
I'm not going to say whether that's right now, but
is that your understanding?
I'm listening to your story.
Okay. And from there, the series of events unfolded involving one of your club brothers, or former club brothers. Okay.
Okay.
And that's where some of this comes about, and it's up to you to clarify for this what all took place, because there's fingers.
Man, you know what? The story that you're talking about is somebody else's story.
Okay.
You're going to have to talk to somebody else.
Who do you suggest we chat with?
I'm not throwing names. I told you. Okay. It's somebody else's story. You're the cop. Figure it out. Talk to somebody else. It's not my story. I'm not.
I think you know that we've got it pretty well figured out. The question is, you're in a bit of a hole. We're trying to offer you a ladder to get out of this hole.
Man.
Okay? Because here we've got Nicole sitting in front of a grand jury right now, and she's testifying to them.
Okay.
We know what she's going to tell them.
Okay.
We presume. That's not an issue. We have other people we've talked to, and I think you know who most of those people are.
Well, you think wrong, but anyway, okay.
Okay.
There's several others, either now or shortly, are sitting in rooms like you are.
Okay.
So.
Okay. But what? Tell me something that means something to me.
Well,
none of this means much to me so far. And Nicole, man, she's got real problems, and her problem is she's sitting in front of a grand jury right now. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure her problems are going to probably unfold in front of them. So in any case, whatever, man. Talk to me about that later after she gets out of the grand jury. You'll see what I'm saying. Nicole's got some serious problems, and she's got some serious lying problems. And if all her lies blow up in her face today, well, it's about time. Maybe that'll help her out a little bit. Maybe this whole experience will help her quit making up bullshit and telling lies. So anyway, that's enough about Nicole for me. You got her in front of a grand jury. You got all the story you need from her. Now, what else would you like from me?
Well, I guess that's depends on what you're willing to talk to us about. You don't want to give us names, so I'm not sure how we can talk about the folks that you think we should go talk to.
I don't think you should go talk to anybody. I don't care what you do, man. I really do not care what you do. You're not telling me, what am I doing sitting here? You haven't even told me that yet. Why am I here? Because of things that happened to me? I'm here because of stuff that happened to me.
What happened to you? What happened to you?
You guys are sitting here telling the stories. You're telling the stories.
We haven't said anything happened to you. What happened to you?
Well, you said I was the one that showed up with somebody else in a car or something like that. When the FedEx man called and stuff, you're telling me the story. Wouldn't that be something that happened to me?
I thought you meant like you committed a crime. Or
something. You are a cop to the bone.
Or a crime happened to you.
You're a cop to the bone. That's funny, man.
Mark just said something that sounds like deflection, but listen to it more carefully. He's drawing a very deliberate line between showing up after the FedEx call and actually committing a crime. In his mind, and possibly in the legal construction he's built around the events. Those are two different things. He showed up, other things happened, but in his version of the world, he is not the one who crossed the line that matters. This is classic criminal compartmentalization. Every person involved in a conspiracy draws the line at their own action. The driver says he didn't pull the trigger. The president says he wasn't there. But prosecutors don't need you to have pulled the trigger. They need to show you knew what was going to happen. And that is exactly what the next 20 minutes of this interrogation is going to be about.
Can you clarify anything for us about Baggerbot?
Let me think if I even want to. You know, any stories that I tell at all about that guy, they dip into club business. They did club stuff. And I'm not going to go club stuff with you guys for nothing. That's just, it's against my fucking rules, and it ain't going to happen.
Okay.
You know,
even when he was out of the club?
I will say one thing. Once that dude came out of the club, when I was out of the club, I've never seen him or know anything about him since, except for small little stories about people running into him and him flipping him off and driving off and little shit like that. Sightings, I guess you could call it.
Okay.
Other than that, I've never seen him, never heard nothing about him, except that he went full junkie. But the truth is, the junkie shit, getting caught being a junkie is what got him kicked out of the club.
Okay.
So,
is he a needle user or a smoker or what?
you know, really, I don't know what he did. It's in tinfoil, you know, so do you mix that and shoot it with a needle, or do you smoke it? I really don't know. I don't know much about heroin. I don't know much about heroin. I just know that some things are completely against our fucking rules.
Sure.
And that was one of them.
We would have those same rules.
If you touch heroin or many other drugs around us, and we find out about it, you're out.
Okay.
And that's what happened to him. And I don't know anything about him since then.
When did he leave the club?
When he left. And let me try to think if it was. I'm going to say probably hasn't been too much over 2 years.
From now?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Probably wasn't too much over 2 years ago, but it could have been 3. Time flies by pretty fast in my older age. I guess it could have been 3 years ago now. It's been a while. It's been a while. A lot more people were alive back then when he left than now. We've had a lot of deaths in our club lately. But in any case, he's been out for a few years. He was a good friend of mine once.
Was he?
Yeah, he really was a good friend of mine once. And then in the end, I found out that he was just a lying piece of shit, is what he really was. So it didn't hurt my feelings too much. It was the heroin and the lying and stealing and everything else. You know what I mean? I don't think that it's that big a deal to tell you guys that he stole from the club, and then when he got caught for it, he blamed it all on heroin, which was automatic kick out for him. So it's not like we found out about the heroin; we found out about the stealing. And when we jumped about the stealing, he blamed it all on heroin. That's what happened, and he got kicked out of the club like anybody would. Some people come to us and admit they smoked heroin or smoked meth or smoked coke, you know what I mean? And we have to kick them out, whether they're coming to sometimes I wonder why they come and tell us, you know? I mean, and then some guys, we kick them out and then we hear they quit. They should have quit before we kicked them out.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. But we do have our standards. Some things will get you kicked right out of the club. And stealing is one of them, and heroin is definitely another one. So.
Where had he been living when he was a club member? Was it in Portland or was it somewhere else?
You know, he different places, girls and wives and stuff. You know, He lived with a wife, and then he lived with a girlfriend, and towards the end there, I never ever went. We were never like such close friends that I went to his house or anything.
Okay.
So I don't have any idea where they'd ever lived or anything. I can't remember if it was Washington, Oregon, or where the hell he lived with girlfriends. Mm-hmm. He had a house somewhere. I think he was married once and had a house somewhere or something, and an ex-wife or something.
Do you remember her name, the wife?
I don't know. Man, I don't know. Annie, the girl, any old lady. I don't know most of the fellas' names. You know,
Okay.
They're not a gypsy joker, and most of the gypsy jokers, I don't know their last names. It doesn't come up for any reason. For some reason, we don't have the conversation unless you happen to, a guy gets in trouble and you see his name in the paper or something like that. You go, oh, and it happens all the time where we go, that's what your last name is? And we'll make fun of it, because never thought that would be. Even their first name. Some guys come around with road names or handles or whatever you want to call it. So when I even hear their whole name, their first name, it blows my mind sometimes because you expect them to be a rough first name and then you find out it's Vernon or somebody,
Did you hear anything on the street that he had enemies?
No.
Nothing.
No, the only people I ever heard say anything about him was people that said, man, I seen him at a stop sign or something, and he saw me and he went like this and tore out. And that's the only story that I ever remember hearing about him, period, after he left the club.
What Mark is doing right now is actually quite sophisticated. He's performing grief, or at least the outline of grief. He was a good friend of mine once. He's establishing an emotional distance from any motive. If you love someone, why would you want them dead? But here's what the investigators know that makes this moment so important. The Gypsy Jokers had publicly, by club rules, declared Bagger Bob an enemy. He had stolen from the Brotherhood. He had betrayed the code. In outlaw motorcycle club culture, there is a concept called being out bad, and it is exactly what it sounds like. You don't just leave the club. You are cast out as a criminal in their eyes. And men who are cast out bad sometimes don't stay alive very long. Mark knows this. The detectives know this. And right now, both sides are dancing very carefully around that shared knowledge.
Do you know who he rode with before? He was one of your guys, or?
I don't think anybody, if he did, it's news to me.
Okay. Is he from our area? I mean,
I
is
don't
he
know
from
that either.
Portland, Washington?
I don't know that either. I don't know where he's from, you know what I mean? But like all that stuff, I don't know why you're asking me these questions, You guys can find all this stuff out. You don't need me. Jesus, you're investigators. You don't need me to find out the simple questions.
When's the last time you were actually eyes on with Bagger? Was he a club member then, or was it after? Did he ever flip you off at some stop sign?
At the same time he was going, I saw him when he was going out.
Okay.
I saw him go, he was and wasn't at the same time. Okay. The last time I saw him.
That's the last time
he was until he told him to get the fuck out of here, and then he wasn't. So I saw him, he was and wasn't that same day, and that's the last time I've ever seen him.
Okay. Did he ever come by and vandalize anything of yours?
No.
Okay.
Hell no. Bagger.
Well, is he a cheap shot guy, or is he someone?
I really don't know, and like I said, I'm not going to answer questions about Bagger.
Okay, but he never did anything to you.
No.
Okay, you never went eyes on with him again after that when he was out of the club.
He respected me, I think, and he talked very nice to me anytime I ever saw him. I'll tell you that. Me and him never had a bad word. In the end, I found out he was a piece of shit junkie. Right. So I admit I hold that against him because I spent a lot of time with the guy and stuff and kind of gave him my heart, sort of like, and so when people just really disgrace us like that and stuff, it leaves a real bad taste in my mouth. I will admit that. Mm-hmm. But that's the end of it. When you're done with us, you're just done. So anything that happened to him after that, I have no idea. Like I said, one thing about our motorcycle club is when you're done with us, you're just done with us. We got no time for you. We got no words for you. You won't be getting any more calls. Nothing. You know what I mean? You're done. And Bagger's just one of a lot of guys that the same kind of shit happens to. It's part of the life. Okay.
Well, I thought you were kind of a friend with him.
Well, I was, but you guys know Caleb and stuff. You know what I mean? You know his son. I know his son. Caleb could probably give you all those answers.
Okay.
I'm sure you guys wouldn't talk. Oh, well,
I'm sure someone has.
Maybe you should. And maybe his ex-girlfriends and stuff. Man, you can get all this information for them. I'm sure he sat there and told it. Don't ask me for it. That's all I'm asking. It's simple information that you guys can get from a whole lot of people. I don't want to be the one.
Okay. Well, I clarified what I wanted to know, and that was whether or not you'd got eyes on with him after he left the club.
Never seen him.
And he never vandalized anything of yours?
Never. I've never seen him for a second.
Okay.
Never seen him for a second.
Okay.
Hey, do you mind if we take a break? You want to put water or anything?
Now I would. Jesus, man. God.
So a few times you've, mentioned maybe a lawyer, maybe not. Before we go, we'd like to talk to you further, but we just want to make sure, it's your choice. If you want a lawyer, that's fine. We'll stop communicating here. If you don't want a lawyer, we can keep talking. And obviously, as the right explained to
then I
you,
must be going to get arrested, or you wouldn't have me call a lawyer in here. Then definitely I want a lawyer. If I'm going to get arrested, I want a lawyer, yeah.
So I don't know what your charges are going to be. That's being determined.
Okay.
There's, in addition to Nicole, there's several people that are in front of the grand jury last week and today, this week.
Partner, just que sera, sera. I didn't do anything wrong, so I'm not really too worried about anything that anybody could say in front of a grand jury. So it ain't going to fucking reflect on me, and I don't even care who people are there. I know what I do throughout my life, so there's nothing that's gonna come bad on me. I don't know what kind of stuff you're gonna get out of in the grand jury today, but I'm pretty sure that in hours from now you're gonna see that it's not pointing at me. You're barking up the wrong tree. So if I'm under arrest for something, then yeah, let me call a lawyer.
Okay. So like I said, I don't know what your charges are going to be. That's being determined.
Yeah, man.
So
if there's going to be charges, so I just have to sit here now and I'm going to wait for you guys to decide what my charges are going to be. What a bunch of crap, man. Why didn't you figure that out before you came and got me if you're going to charge me with something? It's pretty rude treatment for somebody who isn't charged with anything yet.
Well, part of it was determined on what you were able to tell us or willing to tell us.
Yeah,
because
well,
you're the only one who can talk yourself out of the hole you're in.
Well, hole?
Yeah.
I'm not in a hole, man.
Well,
you guys may think I'm in a hole, but I know I'm not in a hole because have you done anything that you should be arrested for lately? I know I haven't. And so you're probably not too worried about getting arrested yourself. I may get arrested. Who knows? I don't know what you guys might try to arrest me for. I have no idea. What time we'll see on that depends on what kind of stories you hear from junkies or whatever you've got in front of a grand jury today. But in any case, as soon as I need a lawyer, let me know I'll call one. But if I'm not under arrest yet for anything, I really don't want to bother a lawyer until you guys.
As I said,
my rights.
you're detained. You're not free to leave. You can't leave.
Okay.
Charges are being figured out right now.
All right. In that case,
there's going to be charges. So
okay. Then in that case, I have nothing else to say, and let me know when I need a lawyer. No problem. Thank you for making me realize that. In that case, I have absolutely nothing to say, and let me know when I need a lawyer.
Okay.
All right.
So just go ahead and hang tight here, and
Okay.
they'll probably move you back down to the holding cell down there.
Oh, man.
And, yeah.
That place is pretty boring in there, man.
At least you haven't spent the night there yet.
Well, evidently I'm going to tonight.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you at least chatting with me.
Can I take this with me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Denklau was convicted at trial in December 2021 of murder in aid of racketeering, kidnapping, in aid of racketeering resulting in death, kidnapping resulting in death, and conspiracy to commit kidnapping resulting in death. He was additionally found guilty of racketeering conspiracy. He was sentenced to life in federal prison on April 14, 2022.